Theocracy. It's not a word you hear often in American politics. In fact, in some ways, we sort of usually refrain from it. But it seems more and more the idea may not be as far-fetched as it used to be, given the rhetoric coming from some newer-ish Republican figures. From the halls of Congress to the campaign trail, the idea of separation between church and state does not seem to be a given anymore, particularly with this new breed of Republican officeholder. In the town of Moscow, Idaho, the fight between church and state is taking a new turn. Residents of this mostly liberal college town are at odds with the pastor of Christ Church, whose mission is to make, quote, Moscow a Christian town. So what does this mean? Well, some basic tenets include the complete submission of women and an unquestioning obedience to authority. My colleague Ann Thompson sat down with the leader of Moscow's Christ Church to learn more.
From this former art house movie theater, Wilson leads his campaign to make Moscow a Christian town.
Idaho is a very red state. Moscow was historically a very blue dot in this red state. And so consequently, the fact that we've done this has been disruptive in the minds of some, but the feasibility of evangelizing in Moscow had to do with the importance of the university and the size of the town.
So in your version of a Christian town, would there be a place for non-believers?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Would there be a place for same-sex couples?
But you mean legally?
Yes.
You mean like marriage? Mm-hmm. No marriage. But there'd be same-sex couples.
No marriage, even though it's the law of the land in the United States?
Just like Roe used to be, right? In my belief system, in our doctrinal stand and what we believe the Bible teaches, homosexuality is not only a choice, but a sinful one, yes.
All right, joining me now is Ann Thompson. And Ann, the whole point we were doing here is that there does seem to be, the question is, there's a growing movement. And I guess the question is it a loud movement or a truly growing movement? And I guess what would you describe it as?
I would say, at least in Moscow, it is largely a loud movement. Doug Wilson knows how to get a lot of attention, but he's kind of hit a critical mass as far as his influence throughout the town. He has about 2,000 attendees out of a city that is 25,000. So is he going to take over the city? That doesn't seem possible. They've run 2 candidates for city council. Both were soundly defeated. So he's got a choice. Either he brings people in or he just continues to make more noise.
You did a terrific piece about sort of the competing worlds of evangelical Christians back in the state of Tennessee. And we were talking about Trump churches at the time. What is the what are the similarities between what Pastor Wilson is trying to do, and what are the differences between what you saw there in Tennessee?
The biggest difference, Chuck, is that politics is not practiced in Doug Wilson's church.
Oh, interesting.
In a blatant kind of way, the way it is in the Patriot Church of Ken Peters. There's no American flag on Doug Wilson's stage. He does not stand there and tell people vote for Trump. But the values are the same. These are anti-abortion, anti-gay marriage, people who are very concerned about gender identity, people who feel that something is being taken away from them. And that's why they want this return to, as they say,
and very patriarchal,
the Christian roots.
Right?
Yes, very, very patriarchal.
Yeah, that seemed to be a huge description there. You do these stories for us. They're tremendous. This one is also.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.